Meat eaters, what type of meat, if any, is off your menu for ethical reasons? I don't eat pork or any pig meat. I used to work on a farm where I raised pigs. 5 adults and something like 40 piglets. I fell in love with them. I used to just go on my off hours and hang out in the piglet pen. They would just leap all over me and give me kisses. They're massive smart. I can't eat them now any more or less than I don't eat dogs. They're untouchable. There was a runt piglet, I nicknamed him Slayer because he probably shouldn't have survived, but he did. He was hardcore, so I had to give him a hardcore name. He was a runt named Slayer. It perfectly fitted him. Any that comes from an endangered animal, e.g. tiger meat, or any that have abhorrent extraction practices, e.g. shark fin. I know that the other types of meat I consume do not grow on trees, that something had to die for it to be made available, but there is a difference between killing an animal with a quick pressure gun and cutting off their fin and throwing them back into the sea to die slowly and painfully. Primates, cetaceans, brain and lymphatic tissue of any animal, dogs. Anything that is cooked alive. Ortolan. It's not tasty enough to make it worth the torture. Turtle meat because I like turtles. Never liked the idea of eating something that was cooked alive. Cephalopods. Those little suckers are smart. Like at least dolphin smart. Shark fin. I won't support anything that is obscenely wasteful. When I was 14 and went fishing with my dad, I caught a shovel-nose shark. Absolutely gorgeous creature. It was almost as big as I was. We took it home and I honestly thought it would feed all 8 of us. It was a holiday, so it was my family and my uncle's family. Anyway, dinner gets served, everyone else had chicken, and I was served what I could only describe as cooked fish that looked like the size of maybe 2 or 3 big sausages. It turns out that only the tail meat is actually edible. I was mortified. Killed a giant animal only to basically eat 2 hot dogs worth of actual meat. Never went fishing with my dad again because it turned out he knew that when I caught it. If I had have known, I would have thrown it back. Octopus. I'm pretty sure those little homies are semi-sapient. Plus when the space cephalopods show up, I want to be clear I didn't eat their little cousins. Long pig. Human. I don't do humans. Their faces are just too realistic. Veal. I remember being a kid and my mom made us breaded veal and said it was chicken, and when we finished announced you just ate baby cow. I cried so much, lol. Which fictional characters are idolized by people who missed the entire point of their story? Greg Heffley. Guy's a little shithead. Tom from 500 Days of Summer. Really liked the character and could associate myself with him in my younger self, but he's living in his fantasies more than understanding his reality. JD from Heathers. Not fictional characters, but Bonnie and Clyde. Cool if you wanna have an adventure with your ride or die, just don't kill 13 people while doing it. Tony Soprano. Holden Caulfield, the catcher in the rye. He wasn't being refreshingly rebellious, he was crying out for help. He was probably mentally ill, and definitely emotionally scarred by his brother's death and the unhealthy way his parents handled that tragedy. Not actually fictional, but the Wolf of Wall Street. Jay Gatsby. Basil Fawlty. Hear me out, he is funny, obviously. But we're not supposed to feel sorry for him in any way. John Cleese often explained that Basil is supposed to be despicable. He is a snobbish, xenophobic narc who blames all his faults on others and never ever learns. He is rude, he is violent, he exploits his staff. When you've worked in hospitality, you recognize his feelings towards guests from hell and you wish you dared to be as rude to them as he. But most people Basil is rude to don't have it coming at all. If you ever had a boss from hell, you can easily tell how similar they are to Basil Fawlty. Greatest Showman, P.T. Barnum was a super FD up dude. Romeo and Juliet. Joker and Harley are still idolized as an example of crazy passionate love despite it being clearly established as an abusive relationship. It's a shame the movies had to cut out most of the really bad Joker abuse, because then maybe the point will be driven home. Joker. And all those cringe posts on Facebook that's just pictures of him saying shit like "I got your back in the darkest times." My dude, he doesn't have anyone's back, that's the fucking Joker. Vito Corleone. Everybody knows Michael is a monster, but he's only his father without the family man charm. Both of them are ruthless murderers. Scarface. So many wannabe gangstas and rappers with Scarface shirts and posters. Women of Reddit, what's the stupidest excuse a man has ever given you to not wear a condom? He said he was sterile because he fucked his ex raw all the time and she never got pregnant. He was unsure whether or not she was on BC. They're expensive. I reminded him that he already had a child with another woman and asked him how much that cost. Then left. Not me, but my aunt said her husband refused to wear one because it'll look stupid. So you don't trust me? Low sperm count. I can't wear condoms, and I have a method where I sleep with a girl for 3 months and then move on. I am completely faithful in those 3 months, so you don't need me to wear a condom. Dude fully thought this would work. I smoke too much weed, so I'm pretty sure I'm infertile. Pretty sure? It's mostly the hole I'm really good at pulling out. I have a vasectomy. He did not have a vasectomy. My balls don't fit. He said he had a latex allergy, which is completely fair. When I said I was cool with whatever non-latex option he had in mind, he blocked me. He told me he could pee in me afterwards and it would kill all the sperm. I don't need it because I don't sleep with sluts. I resisted the urge to respond with "You're trying to sleep with me." It's okay, I know I'm the only one that wants to have sex with you. Pharmacy was closed, I didn't buy them, forgot to tell you, but given that we are already in the midst of the action, why stopping? The midst of the action, we had just started kissing.